Have you ever believed that walking was the gold standard for staying healthy as you age? That if you kept your legs moving, your heart pumping, and your steps tracked, you were doing everything right? What if I told you that after 70, that well-meaning habit could actually be holding you back? Or worse, speeding up your aging? It's time for a wake-up call. Doctors and aging experts are sounding the alarm. Relying solely on walking may no longer protect your strength, balance, or independence. In fact, without the right support, too much walking could strain your joints, wear down your muscles, and leave you more vulnerable to falls, fatigue, and functional decline. But here's the good news. It's not too late. You have more control than you think. In this video, we'll reveal 8 transformative habits that go far beyond daily steps. These are the powerful, research-backed practices that help rebuild strength, restore mobility, and protect your body and brain well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. If you're over 65 and want to age on your own terms, with energy, confidence, and freedom, then stay with me. This could be the most important health video you watch all year. 1. Strength training to preserve muscle mass. Many people believe that simply walking every day is enough to stay healthy in later life. But after age 70, a quiet shift happens in the body that walking alone can't prevent. It's called muscle loss, or sarcopenia. This natural process gradually robs older adults of their strength, mobility, and independence. Even those who walk several miles each day can find themselves struggling to stand from a chair, lift a box, or carry groceries. Why? Because walking, while excellent for the heart and legs, doesn't challenge the muscles enough to keep them from deteriorating. Take Robert, a 74-year-old who had walked every morning for years. He felt confident, believing his routine was protecting his health. But one day, while lifting a light box in the garage, he realized something had changed. It felt heavy. A few days later, he noticed he had to push off the arms of his chair to stand, something that used to be second nature. His doctor explained the truth. Robert's muscles were shrinking, not from illness or injury, but from lack of resistance training. The body needs resistance, some kind of pushback to maintain and grow muscle. For older adults, this doesn't mean lifting heavy weights or joining a gym. It can be as simple as using resistance bands around the legs, doing wall push-ups in the kitchen, or lifting light dumbbells while watching television. Even bodyweight movements like seated leg lifts or standing squats can make a significant difference. What matters most is consistency and gradually challenging the muscles beyond their comfort zone. When Robert started strength training just 3 times a week, using light equipment at home, the results were dramatic. Within a few months, he could lift that same box without hesitation. He stood from his chair effortlessly and noticed a surge of energy during his walks. The improvements weren't just physical, they were emotional too. He felt more confident, more capable, and more in control of his future. Maintaining muscle isn't about looking younger, it's about living better. Strong muscles support the joints, improve balance, help regulate blood sugar, and even contribute to cognitive function. Research shows that older adults who maintain healthy muscle mass are more likely to avoid falls, recover faster from illness, and live independently longer. Here's a quick way to check your muscle strength. Try sitting in a chair and standing up without using your hands. If it's difficult or wobbly, that's your body's way of asking for help. But the good news is, it's never too late. Studies have shown that even individuals in their 80s and 90s can build strength with the right training. So, if walking has been your only exercise, let this be your wake-up call. Walking is a great start, but strength is what keeps you going. And after 70, maintaining your muscle is one of the best investments you can make in your freedom, your vitality, and your joy. 2. Balance and stability. Exercises to prevent falls. Walking may give the illusion of balance, but it doesn't actually train the body to stay steady when life gets unpredictable. After 70, maintaining balance becomes more than just a matter of grace. It becomes a matter of safety and survival. Falls are the leading cause of injury in older adults, and they often happen not because a person is weak, but because they are unsteady. Without specific balance exercises, the body gradually loses the ability to react quickly, stay centered, or recover from a stumble. Consider Edward, a 76-year-old who prided himself on staying active. He walked daily, kept up with yard work, and considered himself strong. But one afternoon, while stepping off a curb mid-conversation, his foot caught the edge wrong. He wobbled and nearly fell, saved only by grabbing a nearby pole. The close call rattled him. For the first time, he felt unsure on his feet. At his doctor's suggestion, Edward began working on his balance, not at a gym, but right in his living room. He practiced standing on one leg while brushing his teeth, walked heel to toe across the hallway, and gently shifted his weight side to side while holding onto a counter. After just a few weeks, he felt more confident in his steps. He no longer hesitated when turning or walking on uneven ground. He moved with certainty. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it fades without practice. Walking is a forward, rhythmic movement, but real balance comes from strengthening the stabilizer muscles in your feet, ankles, hips, and core. These muscles are what help you navigate sudden changes in terrain, reach overhead, or step around an object. A simple way to assess your balance is to stand near a counter, lift one foot, and see if you can hold your position for 10 seconds without grabbing anything. If you wobble or reach for support, your balance needs attention. But that's not a sign of decline. It's a call to act. Balance training doesn't require fancy tools. Just a few minutes each day of standing, shifting, and slow, mindful movements can dramatically reduce your risk of falls. It also improves posture, enhances coordination, and boosts confidence. And the best part? It empowers you to stay active on your own terms, whether that means traveling, dancing, gardening, or simply moving through your home with ease. So don't wait for a fall to realize what you've lost. Protect your stability now. Balance isn't just about staying upright. It's about staying free.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
3. Flexibility and mobility. Exercises to keep joints healthy. There's a quiet loss that sneaks up on many older adults, not their energy, not their strength, but their ability to move with ease. After age 70, flexibility begins to fade and joints become stiffer, making once simple tasks, like reaching, bending, or turning, feel awkward, uncomfortable, or even painful. It's not sudden. It happens gradually. One day it's a little harder to put on socks. The next, getting out of the car feels like a chore. And before you know it, your freedom of motion feels compromised. Walter, a 78-year-old who loved his morning walks, began noticing these changes firsthand. While he could still get his miles in, tying his shoes was tougher, and turning to back out of the driveway felt like turning a creaky door hinge. When he mentioned this to his physician, the advice was simple but eye-opening. Walking alone doesn't maintain flexibility. He needed to stretch, not just once in a while, but regularly, intentionally. That's the truth many people overlook. Walking is fantastic for keeping the heart and legs moving, but it doesn't stretch muscles through their full range. Over time, without being deliberately engaged, muscles shorten, tendons tighten, and joints lose their fluidity. Flexibility exercises like neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, gentle spine twists, or hip openers can help restore what time tries to take away. Walter started small. He added 10 minutes of stretching each morning after his walk. He rotated his ankles and wrists, reached gently side to side, practiced bending forward and holding the position. Within weeks, he noticed real changes. His stiffness eased, his posture improved, and most importantly, his confidence in moving through the day returned. Maintaining flexibility isn't about becoming a gymnast. It's about making sure your body can still do what life asks of it: turning, reaching, bending, twisting, getting up and down. These actions are part of nearly every daily routine. When your joints move freely, life feels easier and more enjoyable. But when mobility fades, independence can follow. Try this simple check. Stand up straight and slowly rotate your head to one side, then the other. Does it feel fluid, or do you feel tightness in your neck or shoulders? That tightness is your body's way of asking for more movement. And the good news is, you can give it what it needs. Flexibility work helps lubricate the joints, reduces stiffness, and even improves circulation. It also lowers your risk of injury, because when your body can bend and adjust, it's far less likely to break. 10 to 15 minutes a day of gentle stretching can protect years of mobility, comfort, and independence. So, if you've been walking daily and still feel stiff or achy, don't assume that's just aging. It's your body nudging you towards something more. Stretching isn't optional, it's essential. It's how you keep your body open to the full experience of life. Fourth, core and posture. Exercises to protect the spine. Most people think of the core as something only athletes worry about, but after 70, your core becomes one of the most important systems in your body, not for looks, but for life. A strong core keeps you upright. It protects your spine. It steadies your balance, and when it weakens, the entire body feels the effect. You slouch more, your back aches, and everyday movements, getting up from a chair, walking, even breathing, become harder than they should be. Harold, a 75-year-old retiree who never missed his daily walks, began to notice something off. His shoulders were curving forward. His lower back was tight. And after standing for a while, he needed to sit down and stretch. His doctor told him the root cause wasn't his legs or his age, it was his core. He wasn't activating the deep abdominal and back muscles that support posture and movement. That realization changed everything. Harold started practicing simple core exercises: seated pelvic tilts to engage his lower abs, wall posture resets to realign his shoulders and hips, and deep breathing techniques to build inner strength. He didn't need crunches or machines, just a little focus each day. The result? His back pain disappeared. He stood taller, and for the first time in years, he felt stable, not just mobile. Your core includes your abdominals, lower back, hips, and deep muscles that wrap around your torso. They're your body's internal scaffolding. When they're strong, you stand taller, breathe deeper, and move with more control. When they're weak, you may feel off balance, tired, or tense, and your risk of falls rises sharply. A simple test: stand with your back against the wall. Can you keep your head, shoulders, and hips touching the wall comfortably? If it feels unnatural or strained, your posture may need correcting, and that starts with strengthening your core. The beauty of core work is its simplicity. Sit in a chair and press your lower back gently into the seat. Stand tall and hold your posture for 30 seconds. Gently twist side to side while seated. These movements reawaken the muscles that keep you aligned and stable, and the benefits ripple out. A strong core improves balance, reduces strain on your knees and hips, and even helps digestion and circulation. You'll walk with more ease, stand with more pride, and feel a lightness in your frame that many thought was lost to age. Don't let your center weaken with time. Rebuild it with purpose, because a strong core isn't about vanity. It's about vitality, and it holds you up not just in body, but in spirit.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
5. Joint protective, low-impact movements to reduce strain. Walking is often celebrated as the ideal exercise for older adults, and with good reason. It's accessible, it's free, and it gets the heart pumping. But after age 70, the body's joints start to wear down. Cartilage thins, lubricating fluids dry up, and the repetitive motion of walking, while low impact compared to running, can still place strain on knees, hips, and ankles when done alone, without support. Raymond, a 77-year-old who walked every day for years, began noticing something strange. His knees ached, his lower back felt stiff, and his feet were sore even after short strolls. At first, he feared he was just getting old, but his doctor saw something else: overuse. His joints were tired from the same movement, over and over, without variation or relief. That visit changed Raymond's approach. He added swimming twice a week, which gave his joints relief while keeping him active. He cycled on a stationary bike, letting his legs move without pounding. He even tried seated stretching while watching TV. Within weeks, the aches eased. His walks felt lighter, and best of all, his body felt cared for, not worn down. Joint protective movement isn't about doing less, it's about moving smart. Exercises like water aerobics, Tai Chi, stationary biking, or gentle yoga cushion your joints, improve circulation, and strengthen the muscles around vulnerable areas like knees and hips. They also stimulate the flow of synovial fluid, your joint's natural lubricant, helping reduce friction and wear. Try this. From a seated position, stand up slowly without using your hands. How do your hips and knees feel? Any grinding, tightness, or hesitation? That's feedback, and it means your joints need more love than walking alone can offer. Incorporating low-impact variety into your week preserves joint function, reduces pain, and allows you to keep doing the things you love, whether that's gardening, walking the dog, or getting down to play with your grandkids. It also reduces the likelihood of long-term damage that could lead to surgery or limited mobility. Your joints are your foundation. Treat them with care. Move in ways that nourish, not punish. Because it's not about how far you go, it's about how well you feel when you get there. 6. Recovery and rest. The missing piece for lasting vitality. There's a quiet wisdom that often goes unspoken in the world of aging well. Sometimes the most powerful action is stillness. While many seniors are rightly encouraged to stay active and keep moving, what often gets overlooked is the equally vital need for rest and recovery. For those over 70, the body's ability to repair itself slows, meaning that without adequate recovery, even well-intentioned movement can lead to setbacks. Muscles ache longer, joints feel more sensitive, and energy doesn't bounce back quite as quickly as it once did. But this isn't a sign of weakness. It's a natural rhythm of aging, and when honored, it can be a gateway to renewed strength, clarity, and resilience. Take Grace, a 73-year-old former teacher who found herself exhausted after her daily walks and stretching routines. For a while, she believed the fatigue was just part of pushing through to stay fit. But her joints ached, and her sleep was poor. Her doctor gently explained that while exercise was important, so was the recovery between sessions, especially at her age. Muscles need time to rebuild, the nervous system needs time to reset. And sleep isn't just a break from the day. It's when the body does its most critical repair work. Grace began making a shift. She added rest days to her week, treated her bedtime routine with more care, and introduced calming practices like warm evening baths, gentle stretching at dusk, and mindfulness breathing to quiet her thoughts. The change was almost magical. Her energy returned. Her movements felt smoother. Her aches diminished. And perhaps most importantly, her outlook brightened. What once felt like tiredness began to feel like calm strength. Recovery is not the absence of activity. It's an intentional practice that keeps activity meaningful. Seniors benefit tremendously from regular periods of deep rest, including at least 7 hours of quality sleep per night, short midday naps if needed, and scheduled days of light or no exercise to allow their bodies to recuperate. Incorporating simple techniques like guided relaxation, Listening to soft music or practicing gratitude journaling before bed can dramatically improve sleep quality, which in turn boosts memory, immunity, and even emotional balance. It's also important to remember that recovery doesn't only happen at night. Building short pauses into your day, moments to sit quietly with a cup of tea, breathe deeply in nature, or close your eyes and tune into your body, can regulate your nervous system and create emotional ease. These moments protect the heart, reduce stress hormones, and help restore energy in ways that rushing around never can. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, it takes courage to slow down. But for those who have lived long and seen much, it's clear that wisdom and vitality don't always come from doing more. They often come from doing less, but with more intention. Just like how a field must rest to produce another season of good crops, the body must pause to cultivate strength for the days ahead. So let rest be part of your wellness toolkit. It is not a weakness, but a secret strength. After all, the most beautiful gardens don't bloom from constant tending. They flourish with sunlight, nourishment, and yes, rest. The same is true of you. 7. Breathing and oxygenation, boosting energy and brain health. Of all the powerful tools for aging well, breathing is the most overlooked, and yet it is the most essential. We breathe tens of thousands of times each day, and still, most of us barely notice it. But for those over 70, how you breathe could be the difference between fatigue and energy, fogginess and clarity, stiffness and flow. That's because as we age, our lung capacity naturally declines, oxygen levels can drop, and our tissues, especially the brain and muscles, start receiving less of the very thing they depend on to function, air. Meet James, a 78-year-old who began to notice his walks left him winded, not because his legs hurt, but because he felt breathless after only a few blocks. His doctor found no heart trouble, no major illness, but offered a surprising insight. James had developed shallow breathing. Years of slouched posture and passive breathing had weakened his diaphragm, reduced lung efficiency, and left his brain and muscles running on less oxygen than they needed. The fix: breathing training. Simple, low-effort exercises that could transform everything. James began daily belly breathing, filling his lungs from the bottom up, allowing his stomach to expand as he inhaled deeply through his nose and exhaling slowly through pursed lips. He practiced this for just 5 minutes each morning and again before bed. He added occasional breath holds, taking in a full breath and pausing gently before exhaling to increase oxygen retention. The result? Within weeks, his stamina returned. His walks were longer, his mind was sharper. He felt not just capable, but alive again. Breathing isn't just an automatic process, it's a tool that can be trained, like any muscle. Diaphragmatic breathing strengthens the lungs and improves oxygen delivery. Slow, mindful breathing reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and lowers blood pressure. When paired with light exercise like Tai Chi or stretching, breathwork amplifies the benefits of movement, helping seniors move with greater ease and coordination. For seniors looking to stay sharp, energized, and independent, breathing exercises are a game changer. They require no equipment, no special skill, and can be done anywhere, while seated at the kitchen table, lying in bed, or standing at the sink. And the rewards are immense: clearer thinking, better endurance, deeper sleep, and calmer moods. So the next time you feel tired or scattered, don't reach for another cup of coffee or a nap. Instead, pause. Inhale deeply. Feel your chest expand, your shoulders relax, your body respond. Breathing may be invisible, but its power is undeniable. For those in their 70s, 80s, and beyond, it's not just a function of life. It's a gateway to vitality.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
8. mental engagement. Through movement, strengthening the brain-body connection. In a world where the body is often the focus of aging well, the brain can sometimes be left behind. Yet, movement and the mind are more connected than many realize. After 70, it's not just about staying physically active, it's about staying mentally sharp, and the secret lies in combining both. When movement challenges the brain, it not only improves coordination, but also boosts memory, attention, and even emotional resilience. Think of Eleanor, a 76-year-old former librarian who prided herself on her daily walks. She loved the fresh air and rhythm of her routine, but she noticed something else. Her memory was starting to slip. Names, appointments, even the reason she'd walked into a room would sometimes vanish from her mind. A friend recommended a dance class that mixed gentle movement with music and memory challenges. At first hesitant, Eleanor gave it a try, and to her surprise, she was hooked. The class required her to remember steps, respond to rhythm, and mirror motions with a partner, all while moving gracefully. Within a month, she noticed a spark return. Her recall improved, her mood lifted, and her balance became more steady. Movement that engages the brain doesn't need to be complex. Simple changes like switching directions, using opposite limbs, or adding counting or verbal cues to exercises light up the brain's circuits. Games like Simon Says, tossing and catching a ball while naming colors or animals, or navigating light obstacle courses challenge spatial awareness, focus, and motor planning. These practices stimulate neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, and that's something we never stop needing, no matter our age. Pairing mental tasks with physical movement also reduces fall risk. It enhances reaction time, prevents stumbles, and improves the ability to adapt to new environments. More importantly, it brings joy. There's something deeply fulfilling about learning, playing, and laughing, even in the midst of exercise. It turns workouts into opportunities for connection, creativity, and fun. For older adults looking to remain sharp, purposeful, and capable, the brain-body connection is a vital piece of the puzzle. It's not enough to just move. You must think while you move. Challenge the mind as you challenge the muscles, and in doing so, you protect both. So the next time you lace up your shoes or stretch your arms, add a twist. Step side to side while reciting a poem. March in place while tapping your shoulders. Try a new movement that's just outside your comfort zone. Because when you engage both body and brain, you do more than exercise. You awaken life. As we grow older, life invites us to shift from doing more to doing what truly matters. The key lesson here is simple but profound. Movement alone isn't enough. What we need is mindful, intentional care of the body and soul. After 70, walking remains valuable, but it must be paired with deeper attention to strength, balance, flexibility, core alignment, joint health, recovery, breath, and mental engagement. These aren't just physical tasks, they are acts of preservation, of honoring the vessel that carries us through each day. The body speaks in stiffness, hesitation, and fatigue, not to punish us, but to guide us. And when we listen, we regain power. We discover that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement. A second bloom. The message is clear. Your body still responds to love, effort, and care no matter your age, and in tending to it fully, with rest, movement, and breath, you aren't just staying active, you are choosing life. So keep moving, yes, but move with purpose, with strength, with joy. Because longevity is not just about how long you live, it's about how deeply you feel alive while you're living.
Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.